In this video, we'll talk about conditionals. What is a condition? Every decision in programming comes down to a single question, which actually has only two possible answers, a true or a false. That's it. Every if statement, every comparison, every condition in any program you will ever write will produce either a true or false. Let me show you. Suppose we have a variable called score, and score equals 67. Now, if I'm to print score equals 57, if I run this, I get a false because I'm trying to say is score the same as 57? Is score equal to 57? The double equal sign means is this equal to, so is score equal to 57? So I get a false. What if I did greater than? It means I'm trying to say is the score greater than 57? And score is 67 and 67 is greater than 57, so I get a true. So you can see that every comparison in Python produces either a true or a false. Now, how do we make that useful? We make that useful by using the if statement. So the if statement is used to introduce that conditional logic to your program. Now let's do this. A quick introduction to the if statement. We begin by saying if. Then after saying if, we now introduce the condition. I've already taught you how to produce conditions. So let's say my condition is score should be greater than 67. So I say if score is greater than 67, then I end with a colon, then I hit enter. Now notice the indentation. The indentation simply means whatever block of code I write under this indentation is what should execute if this condition evaluates to true. So if the score is greater than 67, then it means the condition is true. So once the condition evaluates to true, run the block of code indented under the if. So let's see print greater. Okay, so if I run this statement, I have no output. And the reason is score is not greater than 67. Now, what if I decided to introduce an extra statement which will cater for the fact that score may not be greater than 67? What do I do? This is where the else comes in. So I de-indent and I say else. So else simply means anything apart from the if. So that may be score equal to 67 or score less than 67. So print not greater. Okay, if I now hit run, I'm going to have not greater. Now, I'm having not greater because score is not greater than 67. Let's say score is now 97. With the same condition, if I hit run, I'm going to have greater because score is greater than 67. In some cases, we may have more than 3 statements with different blocks of code based on the same condition. In that case, we introduce what we call the else if, shortened as Elif. So if the score is greater than 67, print greater. What if we don't want an else condition, but this time we want another situation where the score is equal to 67 and a third situation where the score is less than 67? In that case, we introduce the else if. So Elif score equal to 67 colon, and I will print our condition. So let's say print equal. Okay, else. Now, once we introduce the Elif condition, our else now has only one condition. And the reason is score can either be greater than 67 equal to 67 or less than 67. So this else statement could either be left as else or can be written as Elif score less than 67. So now instead of printing not greater, I'll print less. So now score is 97. If I hit run, I'm going to have greater because the score is greater than 67. Now let's say the score was actually 67. If I hit run, I'm going to have equal because score is equal to 67. Now let's say score was 65. If I hit run, I'm going to have less because score is now less than 67. So these are the only three: if, elif, and else. Now we will do this for different conditions. Maybe if the score is greater than 80%, then flag the student as passed. If the score is greater than 50, then, you know. Now, another thing we can do is to combine two or more conditions in the same if statement. So let's say there was two criteria to um, make a student qualify for an internship. So the first thing, his score should be greater than 50, and the second thing, attendance should exceed 5. Okay, so the first thing is, oh sorry, the first thing is the score should be greater than 60, and the second is his attendance should exceed 5. In that case, there are two conditions necessary for a student to pass a test or maybe to pass for an internship. So how do we do this? It's very simple. I'll just proceed. If then the first condition, so I said score should be greater than 60. So that's the first condition for the student to pass. Now the next condition is attendance. Now, if attendance is mandatory, that the students have to, get this before he can qualify for the internship, then I have to join the two conditions by using an AND statement. So the first one, if score is greater than 60 and attendance is greater than 5, then I can now complete my statements, maybe print passed. Okay, now notice the condition for which I put the end. I used end because in this case I need both the score to be greater than 60 and the attendance to be greater than 5. There can be a case where we need either attendance or score. In that case, we use an OR statement. Now let me run this and we see the outputs. It printed nothing because the condition wasn't satisfied. Now let's say attendance was 7. So now you could clearly see that his score is greater than 60 and attendance is greater than 5. So if I hit 1, I'm going to have passed. You could also write this without parentheses. It's still going to work. I just use parentheses to make my work look more attractive. You could also write this without parentheses. It's still going to work. I just use parentheses to make my work look more attractive and easy to understand. So if I hit run, I'm still going to have passed. Okay. Now we could do the same thing for the OR, and there is another operator called NOT. So we'll talk about the NOT. So it's very simple. You say not condition, if not condition. So there is a condition which may either evaluate to a true or false. Now we say if not condition. So we bring the not before the condition to tell us that whatever value you get from that condition has to be inverted. So let's say score less than 50. So if not score less than 50, it means score should be greater or equal to 50. Because I said we are just inverting a condition. Not is inversion. So if the score is greater than 50 or if the score is less than 50, then not simply makes it if score is greater than or equal to 50. So let's see, print true. Okay, if I hit run, I'm going to have nothing being printed out because the condition is not satisfied. So let's say I have this be 70. 70 is greater than or equal to 50. So if I hit run, I have true being printed out. Alright, code a little, learn a lot, and never stop improving. If this video helped you in any way, subscribe for more tutorials, and I'll catch you in the next one.